Good afternoon, everybody. How are you? Let's get that echo out of here. There we go. How's everybody today? Hey, my name's Patrick Siver. I'm the owner and primary benefit auctioneer for G Events LLC out of Beaverton, Oregon. And I have decided that I am going to, in 2021, start live streaming a little bit and talking about what's going on in the fundraising auction business. Auctions and golf tournaments is what I do. And so I'm going to commit in 2021 to doing a weekly broadcast, sharing with you what's happening in the industry, what is popular, what's going on, what I'm seeing work, what I'm seeing not work. I'm also going to be bringing in guests from around the United States and other places to help our nonprofit friends and other auctioneers raise more money for these deserving beneficiaries that we all represent in this incredibly challenging time. But there's so many exciting things that have happened in the last year. I think we tend to hear all the challenges that people have been through, but I'm also amazed at the positives that we have seen. When I think about what it looked like March 11th a year ago, March 9th a year ago, to what it looks like now, and how much I've learned as a business owner, as an auctioneer, I think it's been incredible. When I got that first call a year ago on March 9th at 9 o'clock at night saying, hey, I know we were going to gather on March 11th with an event we were doing for a client with 200 people for a nice breakfast event and a nice paddle raise event. And they said, hey, we can't get together. We don't feel comfortable with the coronavirus coming. We're going to live stream. And I said, well, that's fantastic. How do you spell live stream? and ironically enough, we went off and did the event, and it was ridiculously successful. And today, right, here's what I sit in front of every day now. I couldn't spell live stream in early March last year, and now I am sitting in front of multiple monitors, microphones, box lights, and every event that I've done since March 13th or March 11th has been a live stream. So it's fantastic stuff, and it's been exciting. I've been amazed at the energy that has been applied. I couldn't be more proud of my fellow auctioneers around the United States who have come together literally that same week. I did my first virtual March 11th, and I think for the next several months, it felt like at least daily, if not daily, weekly, Zoom calls with a bunch of auctioneers around the country sharing with each other what we were seeing working and what technologies were working and how to go about doing and helping our nonprofit clients move to virtual. So it's been incredibly rewarding. And so many times I think we start out thinking that we are just plugging a hole. We're putting the big dam has a leak, and so we put our finger in the hole. And the reality is I think what we've learned in this journey over the last so many months is that is going to change our industry forever, and it's going to change the way that we support nonprofits. It's going to change the way that donors support nonprofits. And so I look forward over the next, I committed to do this for a year, so 52 episodes that we're gonna talk about these things and share with you the latest and greatest stuff. So, hey, first and foremost, I do want to encourage you to please drop a comment in there. Let me know where you're watching from today. Also, strongly encourage you to leave a note in the comment box. I will be able to see those in real time, thanks to our friends at StreamYard with this incredible product that platform that they provide, so that I can see your instant comments, and we're going to try to answer those throughout the show. and as we go along. So please reach out, stay in touch, and let us know what's happening. So let's talk about 2020 a little bit. We've talked about people making the move to virtual. I want to talk a little bit about the results. I personally was involved in 15 virtual galas, virtual events, fundraising events since March. I'm really, really overwhelmed with the success of those events. 12 of those 15 events did better than they had ever done the previous year, and many did better than they had ever done ever in the history of doing their event. And I just find that remarkable. I think that it taught us several different things. One being that we, first and foremost, as tough as time as this was, that there are a lot of people who are doing better than they were, that have not been as negatively impacted financially, and it's allowed them to be in a position to give, and they have done so when asked. And I think that that's incredibly powerful. So, for the folks who postponed their event because they were concerned about asking people for money, every organization knows their clientele the best and knows their demographic the best, and that may be the right decision for them. But I'm going to highly encourage you to dig deep and really research a little bit before you postpone an event, and think about, hey, there's an opportunity here, because we've got 9 months here, 10 months. We've got 10 months of track record that shows that virtual events work, and that's been fantastic. And what were some of the upsides to that? I mean, we didn't necessarily want to immediately. We were thinking originally, how do we take our event that used to be in a ballroom and how do we put it on television? I think many of us knew right away that wasn't the best way to go. That you can't replace the social time, mixing and mingling and getting to see your best friends and shake hands and hugs and check out what everybody's wearing, and see the latest and greatest. That was different. You can't really. We can say we can have a giant Zoom call and see if that works, but I haven't seen it been really successful. More what I'm interested in is seeing the fundraising components of the event and how can we maximize those. And right away we knew, wow, okay, we can take everything online. We can take all of the bidding on both our silent auction items and our live auction packages. We can take that online. We can, that'll be great. And when we take it online, we can reach a whole lot more people. We're not restricted to just those few hundred people maybe that attended our event in the ballroom. And so we've seen incredible results with events that I have one event in mind right now that I did down in Eugene, Oregon, that in the past probably had less than 100 attendees, which means that take that number and divide it in half as far as registered bidders, because most people come in pairs, right? And they share a bid number. So let's say there are 50 bidders. In the past, we took their event online and we registered 145 bidders, and they were registered in 26 different states they came from to participate in that fundraising event. And so to me, that's just incredible, right? I find that just phenomenal. And their event raised nearly 50% more dollars than it had raised in previous years, best ever that it had ever done. So, the expanded market is great. That's a great opportunity. I would also tell you that with that, don't forget the audience that has supported you in the past, right? The people who have attended in the past are crucial to your success moving forward. So, and I think they need some hand-holding. I counsel groups all the time. Please don't rely on email and social media and electronic media to nurture your donors. It's a great tool and it has its place, but when you make that move from a gathering event to a virtual event, you've got to start with those that have supported you in the past, and you've got to reach out to them personally. Now, you may not be able to reach them on the phone, and it's okay. Leave a voicemail and follow up with an email with the details and the information. But the fact that they got a call from you will mean just an incredible amount, and it will help. And when you call them, you thank them. You thank them for their support in the past. You share with them that the event is going to be moving to virtual this year, and you want to make sure that they're able to continue to enjoy the event and support us in this new format, and ask them for their help and make sure that they understand how to help you, right? That all the bidding's moving online, and that they can make their donations online. And they don't have to wait until the event, right? They don't have to wait until the big live stream event. They can make a donation whenever they want. And those are great, right? Because the more donations you get in advance, those are donations that you know that you can acknowledge during the live stream event, right? So, I'm kind of rambling a little bit here, and I get that. A lot of information in my head about what the power of these events, and you can probably sense I'm pretty excited about them. I think it's incredible. I put together a little simple video that kind of highlighted all the things about virtual events, and I wanted to just run it just so that everybody has an opportunity, and when on the replays you can take a look at it. But let's go ahead and take a look at this quick video. Well, that's a much more condensed and quick summary of what I was trying to say on the front end. My favorite slide on there is the things that you're not going to miss when you move to virtual, right? No longer do we have to worry about who's sitting with who, and have we sold enough tickets, and did we order enough meals, and how long is the line at the bar, and do we have it? There's so many things that are simplified by moving to virtual from a logistical standpoint, and there's so much flexibility. I mean, the flexibility is phenomenal. I did an event earlier this year. I would say probably 12 of the 13 of the events that I've done, 12 probably, have been in a studio, where I've gone to a professional studio environment with all the audiovisual technicians and the equipment all in place, and we've produced the show, and it's been fabulous, and that's a great way to do it. But we've also done it remotely. I've done events that raised. I had one event that did their best year ever by double. They raised $180,000, I think they shared with me, and I sat right here where I'm sitting, and my MC for the event was in Colorado at her home, and the producer was in Southeast Portland somewhere, and yet we raised $180,000. I mean, unbelievable. If you had told me a year ago that we were going to do that, I would have said, no, you're crazy. So And then another event, I was in the studio and the MC, Peter Jacobson, great golfer from the University of Oregon, PGA Tour star, uh, Champions Tour winner and broadcaster for NBC. Peter was going to be broadcasting the U.S. Open Championship for NBC, and we were planning on doing an event on a Monday, and on Friday, NBC let him know that he needed to be in New York by Sunday for a COVID test, and so that he could be on the grounds there at the U.S. Open. Anyhow, he flew back to New York, and on Monday night, he sat in his living room there in New York, in Westchester, and we did the live stream and raised a bunch of money for the Bowl kids, and it was just great. So, I could not be more excited about this format. It is something that is incredibly powerful. It's having tremendous success, and it has so much flexibility. You can go big budget, you can go low budget. We can do it, wherever you're at, and you're not restricted to working with people just in your hometown. Not that you don't want to support local, but find those people who know what they're doing in this world, in this arena, and reach out to them, because they can do it remotely, and that's incredibly powerful. And never have I seen a better opportunity to showcase what the nonprofits do and what they how they benefit their communities than in a virtual event. We have the opportunity to tell so many stories and to showcase so many individuals and beneficiaries and donors that we never would have brought that many people to the microphone in a gathering event in a ballroom. So it's awesome. So one of the questions that I get pretty regularly is what's happening in 2021, and when do we get to open up again? We're getting our vaccines are out, and people are doing their best to get them distributed and get people vaccinated. But how do we plan for 2021? And I always share with people, let's plan on doing virtual, and if we can add an audience to it, that would be fantastic. So I'm not a huge fan of saying, hey, let's plan a gathering event, and then if we get shut down at the last minute, we'll go virtual. I'd rather see. I think you have so much control. Virtual events don't get canceled. Is something that sticks in my mind, because even if we're planning on using it in a studio, we can always go remote. We can always go, in different locations. If for some reason something didn't work out with the pandemic or whatever happens in our society, we can't even predict anymore, right? So, so far for me, everything is virtual. Is the plan. I know all the way through spring of 2021. And then I already have some fall events. Interestingly enough, I've got some fall events who have, justifiably hold out hope for a gathering event, but they had so much success with their virtual event that they want to definitely go virtual again in 2021. So, that's fantastic. And long term, I said it a little bit a second ago. I think what will happen is we'll continue to stream these events, but we will add an audience to them. And what I mean by that is that if you could picture a show like, I don't want to date myself too bad, but let's think about Saturday Night Live, right? It's a live show, but there's a small studio audience. There's thousands, millions of people watching across the world, but there's a small select group of people that are in the theater, if you will. So I think what will happen in the future is that we will ease our way back into adding an audience, whatever the government allows, whatever society allows, whatever people are comfortable with is where we'll start. And that means the format will change. I envision something along the lines of a very select group of people that will be invited, almost like a VIP experience, if you will. They'll be able to show up, let's say, an hour before the show and have a social interaction, whatever's appropriate distance-wise and things of that nature. And then, beverages, appetizers, that type of thing. And then we'll usher them into a studio or a stage set, and they will sit in a theater environment and they will watch the live stream. What's cool about it is because they can interact like they used to with the auctioneer and with the program, and that they can bid in person. They can raise their paddle in person, which will be great because we'll be able to showcase that on the stream. And so people will be able to see that people are actually bidding and showing support for the organization. That will be great. It'll give us some it'll give us some interaction that'll be awesome. And then we'll roll through the program, and then afterwards they'll be ushered out of the studio environment. Now maybe there's a cordial and a dessert reception right after. But the nice thing is that now you're looking at 2.5 hours total commitment for your guests that are attending. It remains an hour commitment basically for your folks that watch on the live stream. And it's just got an incredible amount of opportunity. The costs are significantly less, and the risk is significantly less than the traditional gathering event. And we can add to it, right? I mean, we can make those audiences as big as fits the organization and the government allows. So it's going to be exciting to see what happens in the future. So I'm going to start to wrap it up. I want to thank those who are viewing now and viewing in the future. I know I just kind of rambled a little bit. I wanted to test the tech and make sure that all my practice with StreamYard was as easy as it seemed to be. And it so far, other than that little echo at the beginning, I think we did okay. And it's a fun deal. I think it's important when I'm promoting live streaming for virtual events that I have some experience actually touching the knobs and doing it. It helps me have a lot of respect for the technicians that have been doing it, and it's just fantastic. So, hey, we're gonna have we'll have a special guest next week. I'll announce it on Facebook and YouTube here as soon as I get it confirmed tomorrow. I think it looks like so. It'll be fantastic. I appreciate you tuning in. You're always welcome to drop me a line, Patrick at geventsllc.com, and we'll be fired up to have you to join us, and drop a comment and let us know what you think, and let us know what topics you want to cover. If you've got questions or you've got a specific topic that you'd like to see us cover in the future, we would love to hear your thoughts. And this program's beneficial for me, but it's also, I definitely want it to be beneficial for you, and hope you enjoy all the opportunity in our discussions coming up this year. So with that, I will bid you a farewell, and I appreciate you so much coming in today and joining me. Have a great day, and remember, the high bid, the last bid always wins.